This is KGW News at noon.
And we start this noon with an update on the war in the Middle East. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brenda Braxton. Israel fired shells along the Lebanon border and they landed in a gathering of international journalists. The Associated Press reports one person died and 6 others are injured. This comes as Israel ordered more than 1 million people in northern Gaza to evacuate before the possible ground invasion. Multiple humanitarian groups, including the UN and the World Health Organization, warn this will lead to a humanitarian disaster, and they've urged Israel to rescind its order. In the meantime, a former Hamas leader is calling for a worldwide day of protest in support of the Palestinians. So far, the war has killed 1,300 Israelis and at least 1,500 Palestinians.
We failed on Saturday. This is our responsibility. But now we're fighting.
There is no crossing borders, nothing left for anyone to do. It's a huge, big cage that we are trapped inside.
The evacuation zone is about 13 miles long, which is roughly half of the Gaza Strip. AP reports the Israeli military has started carrying out small raids within Gaza, but those appear to be separate from the planned ground invasion. Israel has been gathering troops along the Gaza border since Saturday. As this situation evolves, we will update you on air and on KGW.com. New at noon, a driver is accused of hitting a child, leaving the scene, and then getting into another crash. The Clackamas County Sheriff's Office just released details of the chain of events that happened yesterday morning. It all started on Southeast 82nd Drive near Tiffany Court in Clackamas. Police say the driver ran over a child's feet. The child's older sibling may have saved the kid's life, pulling them out of the way just in time to avoid more serious injury. The child was treated at the scene and will be okay. After that, the hit-and-run driver is also accused of getting into a head-on crash at the intersection of Jennifer and Evelyn Streets. That crash sent the driver to the hospital, where they later died. Deputies believe they may have been intoxicated. The driver of the second car survived but has serious injuries. There are new developments in the Kaiser Permanente strike. The hospital and labor unions have reached a tentative deal. About a week ago, 75,000 union members nationwide went on strike. According to the unions, the proposed 4-year contract includes pay raises and more job training. Employees now have to vote to ratify it. It is important to note a group of local Kaiser pharmacy workers is still on strike and negotiating separately from the national unions. Let's head back to the Weather Center on this Friday. Boy, your forecast looking good today.
Yeah, we are seeing a change up. We have clouds thickening, eventually some rain, but to Brenda's point, it's been a delightful morning out there. So the green is rain. So far, there have been some traceable amounts. That story has picked up a trace of rain, but for the most part, what you're looking at is this increasing cloud cover. Futurecast still brings the rain in slowly this afternoon. Here we are at 5 p.m. Some light rain between Eugene and Salem. There is a shower chance as early as 4 in Portland, but this shows most of what's going to be evening showers still just holding out. So the clouds in Lincoln City right now, where it has been reported as staying dry up to this hour. You can see some Briga or light rain showing up offshore. Here are the clouds down in the wine country at Stoller Family Vineyards Estate in Dayton. The west side here in the Portland metro area out over the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club in Aloha. And then the last bit of blue sky looking off to the northeast from the Wells Fargo building. We are at 66. We've been holding steady for the past hour as clouds start to increase somewhat. So I don't think the temperatures are going to do much. We should be dry until at least 4 at the earliest, and then absolutely expecting some showers for your Friday evening plans. Not a storm, just some showers passing about 65 at 8 o'clock. We'll get into the viewing opportunities for tomorrow's solar eclipse coming up in my complete forecast.
That's right. Thank you, Rod. Court documents reveal the man accused of a road rage shooting in downtown Portland had a criminal history in another state. Jeffrey Hammond was in court yesterday facing charges of murder and attempted murder. Alma McCarty has details from the hearing.
Hey, 17, line 1, last of Hammond, first of Jeffrey.
Jeffrey Hammond's court arraignment over in just a matter of minutes Thursday afternoon.
Please not guilty as to all counts.
The 47-year-old Portland man faces murder and attempted murder charges after prosecutors say he gunned down 2 people, killing 1 in downtown Portland Wednesday.
I had heard what I thought was the sound of like the Macs on the rails because it just sounded like some popping noises.
According to prosecutors, Hammond was parked at 10th and Alder, partially blocking the road around 4:30 p.m. The victim in the shooting, identified as Ryan Martin, then walked up to Hammond's car window because of the way he was parked, and the two started shouting at each other. That's when investigators say Hammond fired a single shot, striking Martin in the chest.
I looked over to see what was happening, and that's when the driver of the shooter lifted up the gun and he shot him. And the gentleman fell to the ground.
Prosecutors say video shows Martin laid on the ground bleeding for more than a minute, pleading with the shooter. They say Hammond tried to shoot Martin a second time, but the gun malfunctioned. Prosecutors said Hammond told Martin, "You're lucky I didn't shoot you in the head."
And they were looking for a doctor, so I ran around screaming, "Is there a doctor?" I ran into Jake screaming, "Is there a doctor?" It was taking forever for the emergency people to come. And then I just sat there and held his hand, and he passed.
After shooting Martin, prosecutors say Hammond fired 2 more shots. One struck a man who was attending a conference for minority architects. Prosecutors say he had just walked out of the nearby Moxie Hotel and was recording the incident when Hammond aimed the gun directly at him and fired.
I just generally get concerned about the safety of our city or of our country with guns just kind of running around.
Martin died from his injuries. The second victim was struck in both legs but is expected to survive. According to court documents, Hammond founded a financial company in Portland that went bankrupt earlier this year. He owned 4 guns and lived in the West Hills. Under a different name he used in the past, documents reveal he had a criminal history in Illinois, including charges of assault and vandalism.
My reaction is one of sadness.
Portland's new police chief, Bob Day, was sworn in just hours before the shooting.
It truly breaks my heart to see the pain and the messaging yesterday as I sat in my office, wrapping up my first day on the job, and to see and hear the call come out, and just know the harm that perpetuates in the beliefs of many.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
For the latest developments in this case and what else we've uncovered about the suspect, go to our website and follow us on social media. The Multnomah County Chair is fast-tracking $62 million for homeless services. Here's the breakdown. About $16 million will go to 2 new city-sanctioned homeless camps. $500,000 is for a new day center. Money will also go to build a detox center downtown. What's unclear is how much money existing shelters like Rosehaven will get. Here's the executive director.
I'm not exactly sure what that means for us yet, but we're really excited about what this might be able to help us with.
Multnomah County is required to spend that money by the end of June.